it's your girl Ivory Star with this week's Ratchet Astrology report. What's up? What's up? You know it's new moon time, so you know what we getting ready for. Some intention setting and stuff, and you know I've been doing my Ratchet Astrology in this notebook. Shine like the whole universe is yours, okay? So when I write about y'all, this is what I'm writing in. So we gonna get right into it because it's Aries season, and honey, I am busy as hell. And when I say I'm all over the place, baby, I'm all over the place, and I'm trying to get my shit together. So we gonna get into this Ratchet Astrology. So we are in the last phase of the moon. It's still waning a little bit. It's not completely a new moon, but it's in that last little tiny phase where it's slightly exposed. So this means no more movement. You know, all the thinking, strategizing, all the things that's been on top of your head at the start of the season and the things that you have going on, you know, we letting all that go. We letting go. We letting God, whatever is going to happen, is going to happen, right? Okay, so you have set the intention. You have put the work in. You have reaped some of the benefits of the harvest through after the full moon, and now the energy from all of that is coming down, and you ready to start some new goals or whatever. So this is the time where we rest and we just trust the process. Okay, get everything aligned and just trust the process. Let it go, and just let it be, and allow all things divine to just go ahead and align. Okay, if that's a mantra that you need to use to make sure that you stay in your spiritual space, you know what I'm saying? All things divine, let them align. You know, that just means all things supernatural, all things destiny, all things fate. Let them just align with who I am and what I'm doing. And let me see the areas where I am not aligned and not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, which we find through shadow work, which I'm going to talk a little bit about too. But first, let's talk about this new moon in Aries. The question that I have for you in this video, what lights your fire? You know, we're searching for purpose. We're searching for new ways to make money. We're searching for the love of our life, and we're searching for our miracles and chasing our dreams. The one question that you should ask yourself first is, what lights my fire? We're constantly chasing things that don't interest us, don't spark our fire, don't do anything for us, don't make us passionate, don't make us want to just keep going and keep doing what it is that we're doing. What are you passionate about? If you're passionate about being a foodie, cooking, traveling, it's art, you know, spirituality, teaching, you know, education, law enforcement, whatever it is that sparks your interest, that really gets your mind working, that makes you want to get up and go, that you can see yourself out in the field doing, that is what you should be pursuing. You know what I'm saying? So this new moon in Aries is asking, what lights your fire? Aries is the fire sign, but it's the fire starter. You know what I'm saying? Fire signs, just like all the other signs in the zodiac, they all come with their certain attribute that ascertains to their sign. So, you know, like Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, all fire signs, but they all different types of fire signs. Aries, that's the fire starter. Leo is the leader. That's the humble fire, the ever-burning fire. You know, when you think about the story of Moses and the burning bush that wouldn't go out, you couldn't put out with water, that's Leo. And, you know, Sagittarius is like a traveling fire. That's a brush fire. It just comes in and whoosh, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, Sagittarius, they have the power to either, you know, whoosh, clear things out to build on, or clear things out to destroy. Just like with Aries, they have the power to start something, that fire, that inspiration to get things going, but they can go out just as quick as they came in. And then at the same time, with Leo being a fire sign and the fire, it being the humble fire, the ever burning fire, maybe sometimes it gets stuck in, Leo might get stuck in their ways and the way that they see things and doing things. So, you know, it's always a positive, and then there's always the negative side, you know, that we look at when we're talking about shadow work, which we're not getting to yet. Just hold on. So what makes your eyes light up when you talk about it? You know, it's time to set new intentions and reevaluate old intentions. Do you have some intentions that you know that you have been carrying forward and forward. That means that you haven't let it go. You know, I'm not saying that you forget what you intend to do, what it is, you know, forget and let your dream go, but have things changed since the new moon 6 months ago? You know what I'm saying? We're doing this thing in cycles. You know, it's not like from 2 weeks to 2 weeks. That's how your goal planning should be. You know what I'm saying? But the results and, you know, the changes that are made, they're not just going to be overnight. Sometimes it can be, I do, you know, but it's not really an overnight process. The miracle can come overnight, but it's not an overnight process, is it? You know what I'm saying? These things, where you are in your life, everything that has happened to you, everything that you've been doing has led you up to this point. The people that you have met, the people that, the adults and stuff that were in your life when you were a child, the people that you choose to be around now, none of this is by accident. All of this is for a purpose, on purpose, and you are the one leading the way. So this is how we evaluate if an intention is on the verge of turning into a frustration. Now, this was something that was downloaded into my spirit earlier this week about intentions turning into frustrations because we hold on to them too long. You hold on to it too long, or you don't reevaluate it, or you want that thing so bad that you're gripping it too tight that you won't let it go into the universe so you can receive what it is that you're trying to receive. You know, we hold on to the intention so tight because something that we really want, and it turns into a frustration. So we have to turn that thing back into an intention so we can release it into the universe where it was supposed to be released to in the first place. So we want things to flow in our life. So anytime that you have frustration, stress, anxiety, any type of those negative feelings, depression that kind of weigh you down and kind of stop your flow, you know what I'm saying? That's how you know, we look at our intention setting, our goal setting, and intention setting should be very clear, intricate steps to reach a main goal. See, now your dream, that's the main goal. So, you know, each intention, you can't say, okay, just to say something, I want to be a singer. Okay, so each new moon, your intention shouldn't be, I want to be a singer. That's the goal. That's the dream. That's what you want. With your intention setting though, so it doesn't turn into a frustration every time you get ready to set your intention because you're not a singer, you're not no famous singer yet, or whatever it is that you want to be yet, or whatever it is you want to be doing yet, or whatever it is that you're trying to acquire through your intention setting, because you're putting your dream in the intention. No, the intention is what's going to get you to your dream. That's the goal that you are setting. So I want to be a famous singer. So guess what? My intention goal is going to be, I'm going to find somebody to give me vocal lessons. I'm going to start, my intention this week is to contact 3 different major labels and hear back from them. Now we're setting intentions for manifestation. You know what I'm saying? So that's how our intent, to keep our intentions from turning into frustrations, and we have to turn those things back around. You know, that's where you get into your spiritual practices, you know, taking spiritual baths, coloring, writing, journaling, very important. Over the weekend, I don't do bead jewelry, like I don't make it for other people. I don't really even do it for myself. I buy the kits all the time and I just never do them. But I did it over the weekend because I wanted to turn my frustrations that I've been having into intentions. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to wear them, I'm going to carry them. You know what I'm saying? And if you are in Toledo on this YouTube video and you are part of the Queenish group, I do have a post about what this beaded necklace means to me and how I turn my frustration into an intention. But if you are not in that group or you don't have access to that, I can send you the information myself. So if you have broken a goal down, then you need to focus on more planning. So it's all about planning, strategizing, stretching this thing out, because we want the long-term goal. Now, if you want short-term shit, that's cool. If you want quick cash, you want a quick boo, you want a quick, quick whatever, you know what I'm saying? You want a quick job, you want a quick E, whatever the hell it is that you set your intentions on, that you just want to just pop up right now, there's magic for that. There is magic, there's spells, there's all type of stuff that you can do that, but you're not going to like the consequences, okay? That's all I'm saying. We need to be focused more on light than dark in these times anyway. You know what I'm saying? That dark shit come in handy sometimes when somebody fuck with you, and you know what I'm saying, you really don't know what to do. You can't get any outside forces to help you and all this other stuff. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But in order to obtain and build wealth and have good health and live a long life, if that's what you really want, you got to start focusing on your long-term intention goal setting, okay? It's so easy to lose interest or hope in the intentions we set out to manifest when we don't see them manifest in the time frame we feel is ideal, when we want it, okay? So, you know, it's not going to come when you want it. It's going to come when it's divinely appointed to come. It's divinely appointed to come when it's supposed to come. Whether you ready or not is going to be the key to whether you receive it. So if you're sitting up here complaining because it haven't manifested yet, then guess what? You're not ready to receive it. It's not going to come until you let it go. I've watched, it happens to me all the time when I'm so frustrated about something. But the moment that I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to let this go, and I'm going to focus on something that I can handle, something that I can control, and then everything just smooths itself out. And, you know, it's on to the next task because it never stops, okay? Goal setting, being an adult, having to take care of responsibility, it's not just going to stop because you want it to stop. You can try to escape it. You can try to get away from it, but it just don't happen like that, okay? And if you want to have a good life, then these are the things that you need to know. It's going to take a lot of hard work and, you know, dedication and devotion and, you know, standing 10 toes down on what it is that you believe in and what it is that you really fucking want. So that is not how this works. Now, if you want to dabble in dark magic, which I was just talking about, to quickly sway things in your favor, just remember it's always a price. Spirits are quid pro quo, okay? Spirits, when you're talking about dark magic and, you know, dark matter and black magic and, you know, dealing with spirits to try to, not outside of your ancestors, our ancestors are divinely appointed to us to do what it is that we need to do. I read something I seen, on a meme or something, basically saying that, you know, in order for us to be here right now, this year, in this moment, there are 4,000 ancestors beyond us, and probably more than that. But 4,000 was enough for me to realize, you know, I got to stay on top of this thing, okay? But when you start dealing with, you know, black magic and, you know, getting spirits to do your dirty work for you and doing dirty work and stuff like that, it always comes with a price. And 9 times out of 10, you're not going to like it. And, you know, that's how you end up outcasted, you know, in the spiritual community, which is not something that you want, because something else I'm going to talk about is the need for us to be dependent on one another when I start getting to shadow work and talking about this new moon in Aries.
3 hours later.
All right, so I might look a little different to y'all, but that's only because I had to take a little pause for the cause, and it's a whole different time. Right now, it's hours later. So, but we gonna finish this video up, and we're gonna get right back into what we were talking about with our new moon in Aries, and it being all about new beginnings. Now, Mars, the warrior planet, the action planet, the planet all about taking action, inspiration, is in multi-talented Gemini. And that might make it unclear on what new beginning it is that you should focus on, especially if we have to take time to really reflect on what it is I need to take charge in and what am I already in control over. Because the stuff that you already in control over, you need to just take it off of the list. Take it off of your mental list. You already got that stuff. The stuff that you should be focusing your mental power on is stuff that you are trying to master. If you already mastered it, it's already part of your daily routine. Nobody has to show you how to do it. You don't have to get inspired to do it. It's just already in you. Then take that off of your list. That is just already a part of who you are. Focus on, you know, honing in on new skills or mastering new things, you know what I'm saying? Or things that you don't have control over that you might need to get in control of, like maybe your household, maybe your finances, maybe your co-workers, whatever it is that you need to take charge of. You know, this is the time that we reflect on that, because that Gemini energy is going to have us all over the place, because Geminis know how to do a lot of things at once, and that's just them, you know what I'm saying? But this energy where you have Aries inspiring you to change and new beginnings and fresh starts, but Gemini not giving you any, you know, kind of messing up the direction, because there's so many directions that you can go in. And it does not help that, you know, Mars is also squared with confusing as Neptune. And why I call it confusing as Neptune? Because Neptune is the planet of spirituality, illusion. It rules over confusing as Pisces. And, you know, it's all about, it doesn't really have lines. It doesn't have a shape or form. It's the ruler of pretty much everything that we don't see. Okay, so spirituality and illusion, dreams, and all those things that we see but we cannot touch, the intangible things and stuff like that. That's kind of what Neptune rules over. So it's already at a square. So square, you think opposition. So, Mars already being at a square with confusing as Neptune is going to make it even harder for you to think straight about what it is that you want to start. But, just start checking things off the list. Shit that you've already mastered. Things that you've already accomplished that you don't really need to keep going over and over again. Focus on what it is that you need to master in different areas of your life. Financially, spiritually, physically, setting goals and stuff like that. So we don't want to taint what should be pure new moon intentions with toxic waste. Okay. So, make sure that y'all taking y'all time to do y'all shadow work, self-reflect, check yourself, check your attitude, check your emotions, check all of that shit, check your trauma, check all that shit at the door before you step into the spiritual realm and ask for things and setting intentions, because that's what we're doing. We are setting things in the physical because we want to pull them down out of the spiritual and have them manifest in our lives, because we know that we are not just here to just be here, and that everything that is here on this earth is attainable to us. So if you really want to tap into that type of power, we have to stop mixing toxic waste inside of what should be fucking pure. You should be pure. Your intention should be pure. So if you don't have that and you're mixing these toxic waste, and what I mean by mixing toxic waste, search your heart and observe your behavior. Do a mood check. Why am I sad? Why am I angry? Are your intentions being based on all of these negative feelings that you have, or are you basing your intentions on your purpose? Because if you base them on your negative feelings that you have, you're setting your intentions on your negative feelings, like, oh, I just want to get over this guy, it's making me so sad. Why is it making you sad? Is it making you sad because of something that you did in a relationship? Is it making you sad because he just ghosted you and you don't understand why? Get to the root of what the negative emotion, why it is triggering you. Matter of fact, let's talk about triggers real quick. And then after I talk about triggers, we are going to talk about a little bit of what's going on with the masculine and feminine, because we need to be in touch with both sides inside of ourselves, and you need to be in touch with what's going on if you have a partner. Okay, so but first you align the divine and masculine within yourself. You put them in balance. But if you have a partner, so you should also know what's going on the divine and feminine aspect of things in, the universal plane. But first let me talk about triggers. So I was triggered by a phrase. It's an old phrase that, black people use all the time. I'm not going to use it on here. But I was triggered. I was mad as hell that somebody had said that to me, like the fucking audacity. But this person didn't know that was a trigger for me. But because I was in a phase of shadow work, it had to happen. So when I hear it again, I won't be as triggered. I overreacting and being upset about just. But I knew where the trigger had came from, because in the times in the past where I had the catchphrase, it did not apply. It didn't apply, and they really pissed me off when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? Don't be saying shit to me that don't apply to me. You know what I'm saying? Don't be just saying shit just to be saying shit to me. Make the shit make sense. It needs to make sense if you're going to say it to me, because I'm a logical person. But anyway, I had to deal with why that shit was a trigger. First of all, because before it didn't apply to me. At the time, when it was said, it did kind of apply to me, but it still pissed me the fuck off because it was something that I needed to deal with. So, in the weeks and days before leading up to the new moon, your whole life should just be filled with cleansing your spirit and your life. Getting rid of old shit, getting rid of old numbers, getting rid of old clothes, getting rid of old habits, getting rid of old niggas, whatever. Whatever you got to get rid of that shit. That's what the time before the new moon, before you set your intentions, that's the way that we clear toxic waste out of our intention setting. Get rid of the old shit that you are not using, that's just taking up space, shit that's taking up mental space, shit that's taking up space in your body, shit that's just taking up space in your home, in your life, in your car, whatever. Clean that shit out. The week before the new moon, that's all you should be focusing on, because days before the new moon, what are you supposed to be doing? You're supposed to be getting ready to set your intentions. You're supposed to be resting, making sure that all is well with you. And all is well with you. You know exactly what intention you want to set. You have cleaned up your life to the best of your ability right now in this moment, because, don't get in the habit of trying to do too much at one time, because you want to slow roll this thing. That's how you want to live long. Not trying to do too much too fast is how we're going to live longer. Taking our time, being patient, and, making sure that we are aligning before anything else with our creator, with the universe, and whatever it is that you pray to. That's what you worry about first. But then, you know what I'm saying, when the days before, you take your rest. So releasing weights of depression, anxiety, stress, things that block us from ascending into our destiny, because that's what all this about. All of this is just about spiritually ascending and rising above the bullshit, right? That's what this whole spiritual awakening journey shit is about. Dropping off the weight so we can actually receive what is for us, and letting go of shit that's just been attached to us with or without our knowledge, you know what I'm saying? And that's causing us depression, anxiety, stress, the ways of the world, laws, and all type of different shit that's going on, human laws and human rights and all that shit that we have to look past to really ascend into our destiny. So on the masculine plane, this is what's going on. So when you say masculine plane, that's just anybody that's male, and you know, signs that are identified as kind of masculine, or people who identify with more masculine behaviors than feminine, whatever the case may be. There is a awakening going on. So males may be experiencing very heavy feelings. It's because Jupiter is in that trine with Mars. So while that trine is with Jupiter, the planet of expansion, expanding, enlarging our territory, while it is encouraging Mars to extend all of that fire out to the community, at the same time it may be causing heavy feelings in males because there's an awakening going on. Mars is also the planet of the is the planet of the masculine that rules over the masculine feelings, emotions, and stuff like that. So with Jupiter causing it to feel this expansion, what do you think is going to happen to the male? He's growing. He's growing. So if you got a big crybaby on your hands right now, it's because he's growing. He's having his own growing pains. So that is what's going on with the masculine. So they may be experiencing heavy feelings right now. You know, feelings of like, I'm just ready to change this. I'm ready to change that. I'm ready for a new this. I'm ready for a new that, because they're experiencing these feelings of new beginnings and all of that stuff too, the men. So, you know, they are... you know, they're under pressure as well, because they're experiencing a change. They're experiencing a growth spurt. They're experiencing, you know, they're being exposed if they are unaligned. If you're unaligned, you run the risk of being exposed. And this is the reason why. Because alignment protects us. Alignment pretty much protects us from the past, because we are able to heal from the shit that hurt us, and we are able to be more forgiving to the things that we may have did to hurt other people that we are now apologetic for now, because we are aligned, right? We're aligned. So we are becoming in harmony and balance, and walking in true love for other people. So, you know, when you're aligned, you know, that past, all that stuff, it erases itself eventually, you know what I'm saying? And new cycles come, and you might have to still come and deal with some stuff and deal with consequences and karma of things that you did with your past. But it's a whole lot different when you're aligned and when you're unaligned. When you're unaligned and you're a heathen, you just out here doing whatever you want to do. You don't feel no accountability, no responsibility to anybody or any fucking thing. You run the risk of being exposed, okay? So this is what's going on the masculine plane. So if you have a male partner and you know their experience, it seems like they've been a little edgy, or they've been like, you know, a little snappy, they've been under anxiety, stress, maybe they feeling depressed, and they just been doing a lot of existential talk, like, I'm gonna get my life together, I'm gonna do this, it's time for me to do that, I'm ready to go back to school. It's just because the masculine is going through an awakening. So it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Don't turn it into a bad thing either, because a lot of men may not know what they're feeling. You know, a lot of men aren't conscious or aware of these things that's going on. And especially in the Black community, they are just not taught to just, you know, tap into their feelings, tap into their feminine side, because they have to balance their feminine and their masculine side as well. And that's how they're ever going to understand, you know, a woman and be able to partner and be in a healthy relationship with a feminine counterpart. So on the feminine spectrum, so guys, you know, if you're feeling some type of way, it's okay. This too shall pass, and you're going to be a better man behind it. On the feminine spectrum, we have Venus, Ceres, and the Sun. So Venus is what? The planet of love, beauty, art, creativity, and all those nice things. Ceres happens to be the planet of the natural world, seasons, womanhood, fertility, parenting, reproduction, fostering, and adopting, and all things family. Ceres is all things family. And you know, Sun is the planet of self. So we have the planet of love and beauty lining up with the planet of parenthood and the Sun, the planet of self. So what does that mean? Now, you could be experiencing this because the divine feminine is also going through identity changes. So all of, you know, so on the feminine spectrum, has anybody noticed the glow? Or anybody been complimented about their glow, their divine feminine glow? Because you have all these planets lining up and they all like are working in your favor. So, you know, Venus, the planet of, you know, all things love, beauty, art, creativity, MUA, stylist, and all that other stuff. Anything that has to do with detail, aesthetics, and opulence, and all that stuff. That's what Venus. That's what you think when you think Venus. You think shiny. You think fashion. You think, you know, out there, you think all of that, okay? And Ceres, that also being, you know, that's the other side of womanhood, that parenthood, the parenting, reproduction, fostering, adopting, upbuilding, growing children, the natural world. And Sun is just putting the highlight on all that. So you should be in your feminine glow if you are alive. Because the planet of, you know, womanhood and womanhood, both planets of womanhood being you know, highlighted by the Sun. So you should be walking in that feminine glow if you're aligned. Now, Lilith, the bad bitch planets, and Uranus, the planet of unpredictability, are also linking up. And ladies, Lilith is our toxic bad bitch planet. She is the one who has all the keys to your bad bitch traits and your toxic personality traits and all those things. So when you want to know what it is that like you could start focusing on in your shadow work, Lilith is a good place to start, ladies. But it may have you ready to bust loose because Uranus is the planet of what unpredictability, of being eccentric, of being different. And Lilith, she the bad bitch planet, so you might be ready to just go ahead, step out, and let your bad bitch out, whatever it is that you may be going through. So let's talk about the difference between identity crisis and identity transformation. Some of you might be long overdue for identity transformation, so this placement might not be a bad thing for you. It might be time for you to bust loose. Whatever you've been holding on to, we talking about new beginnings, we talking about new projects. This might be the time for you to go ahead and follow through on that if you are having an identity transformation. Now remember, crisis means emergency. If you have an identity emergency where you need to sit back and reevaluate whether or not this is the time for you to tweak out and make some serious changes, and I'm not talking about cutting your hair off and dyeing it red. I'm talking about serious changes, quitting your job, walking away from, you know, opportunities, leaving your city, those type of identity things. Leaving your city, not just leaving your city, because, you know, identity is not the only reason why we leave our places and go to the next. We are a moving people. I'm talking about leaving your city to go pursue something else that you want to do. Might be an identity crisis. So first, know the difference. Am I having an identity crisis, or is it just time for me to make some transformation, some changes, change my brand, change how I look so I can change how I feel? Determine why you want to make that change with it, because it's going to come quick. And because Uranus, it's not on a time frame. It just does what it wants to do when it wants to do it. It's the eyeball planet. So just make sure you're channeling that energy. So you got this passion, you got this fire. Make sure that you are channeling all that bad bitch energy and all that Aries fire into something constructive or compassionate where you're helping other people. So let's get into your zodiac readings, because I know everybody wants a little help getting their fresh start. Now remember, when we do zodiac readings, we do sun and we do rising, okay? Which means, okay, when I get ready to read Aries is first. This is going to go for Aries sun and Aries rising. And you know why we do this? We do this because we realize that rising is your social personality. Your rising sign, some people may never get to meet your sun sign, that they will only meet your rising sign. You know, matter of fact, you know the certain type of people who only meet your rising sign? Co-workers. A lot of co-workers only meet your rising sign all of the time. And for example, okay, so I'm a Leo rising. I'm a leader. A lot of people at wherever I'm working at my job, they're only going to meet the leader side of me. They might not meet the conspiracy side Aquarius of me. You know what I'm saying? They might not meet the supernatural witch show watching Aquarius side of me. They might not meet the crybaby at home, homebody in my pajamas all day Cancer side of the moon of me. You know what I'm saying? Co-workers are probably, most of my co-workers are probably only going to meet the Leo in me, where I'm either telling you what to do or just being a team player, working and going home. All the extra shit, no. Okay, so that's the same. That's the reason why we want to start reading our horoscopes. Read it under sun and read it under rising, because rising, that's who you are when you outside, when you around other people. Even when you around your friends, you still have a lot of rising qualities that come up probably more than your sun sign. So let's get into it, and we're gonna end this video. Okay, Aries. So this one is personal. You missed your whole birthday last year. A lot of people did. But unfortunately, Aries, you know, COVID took over your birthday. So this one is personal because you've had a lot of time to reflect on the things that you have accomplished and the things that you've been through. And you are ready to kick this shit right off, right? So show off that authentic sparkle like only Aries can. Bold fashion choices and new ways of expressing yourself and telling people how you feel, whether it's writing, whether it's, you know, blogging. It's just time for you to just put your voice out there and tell people how you feel and find a new way to express yourself through fashion and talking and stuff like that, Aries. This is your time. So, Taurus, you are exhausted and you should be using this as a time to rest and get some clarity, because you can't think when your mind is all cloudy and, you know, lack of sleep, lack of rest, and, you know, this is a real lethargic time, a low energy time, a low vibrational time. You know, you really need your rest if you're going to have mental clarity to get to the next step in your season, which is next, honey. So rest up for Taurus season, okay? Gemini, it is time to take the lead and get the gang together. So maybe it's time for you to host a party, a gang night, or whatever you want to do, Gemini. Just, you know, a little happy hour. You are turning over a new leaf in your social life. So, you know, it's time for you to get social. Cancer, your fresh start is going to be coming in your professional life. So don't be shy. Be assertive. Tell them what you want. Tell them what you want for you. And tell them what it is that you want to do, okay? Don't be shy. Be assertive. Chase new opportunities. Don't be, you know, don't be trying to act too cool to do certain shit, okay? And, the squeakiest wheel gets the grease, okay? So the one that's making the most noise, the one that's yapping the most is the one who's going to get heard. And you are your biggest supporter, so fuck who don't support you or what it is that you're trying to do in your professional career. You your biggest supporter, okay, Cancer? Leo, be brave. This new moon is getting you off onto an adventure. So this is the time to learn something new. Take a trip, but more importantly, take a risk, okay? Time for new things. Virgo, it is time for you to clear up any old debt. So when we talk about fresh start, yours is probably going to be a financial one. It's time for you to clear any debts you may have, financial or spiritual debts, okay? Do you owe somebody something or something, okay? Money, an apology, an explanation, an offering to your ancestors, you know, clear your conscience. Whatever it is that you lacking in, where you know that you've been behind, that you owe something to someone, whether it be something physical or something non-physical, maybe just a conversation or whatever the case it may be. It's just time for you to go ahead and clear your conscience and take care of those things. And, you know, it's a lot of energy in the planets that's supporting us being able to speak our mind and to, you know, clear up any dead air in our relationships. Libra, are you advocating for your own pleasures, thoughts, wants, or needs? Or are you just people pleasing and keeping the peace? Okay, you deserve some compromise too, Libra. So don't be afraid to speak up and advocate for the stuff that you want too. You know, because we don't really benefit by being people pleasing. We don't benefit the people that we are trying to please, and we don't benefit ourselves because we're not being 100% with us, and we're not being 100% with them. saying? We just trying to keep the peace because we don't want confrontation. And we know Libras are good for that because they are all about balance and diplomacy and making sure everybody is happy. But you know, it's not always the time for that. Sometimes you gotta, even sometimes the stuff that you want to do or the stuff that you want is going to make other people uncomfortable, but other people have to learn how to compromise with you the same way you compromise with them, okay? And that goes for everybody. But you know, Libra, it's time for you to reevaluate your relationships if people are not willing to meet you halfway or meet your needs too, okay? So next we have Scorpio. Taking charge of your daily routine and getting serious about your health is what's on your mind, Scorpio. And this new moon is supporting you to do so because guess what? It's all about new beginnings. So this is your time to go ahead and take charge and, you know, get serious about what it is that you want to do with your life, your health, and your wealth, okay? Sagittarius. Your love light is lit in the fellow fire sign Aries. You know, fire signs all get together and it's a party. But Sagittarius, Aries season is definitely lighting up your love light. So if you're single, continue to do you and flirt, okay? And if you're in a relationship, get creative and try to spark something. Reignite the light. Capricorn. When it comes to family and friends, it's time to release petty grudges, family matters, or emotional issues that might cause you to take time from work. So maybe it's time for you to take a little time off of work, Capricorn, and deal with your family issues. This new chapter in your heart. And, you know, anytime that we are renewing our hearts, because, you know, we have the ability to spiritually renew ourselves daily. Yes, our body is getting old and it's slowly withering away, and we can do all type of stuff to slow the process down so we live a long life. And I hope that we all are able to, that we all will do the things that we need to do to make sure that we live a long life. But there are certain things that you can do spiritually that you can renew yourself, that is going to also add to the value of life, and it's renewing your heart. So Capricorn, this is the time where you are renewing your heart. You are, you know, changing the way you see people and the way you see things, your relationships, how you deal with family, friends, and how you handle people and how you want to be handled. So it starts at home. So, you know, if you got to take a little time to get your house in order, that's okay, Capricorn, because it's going to complement all these new changes that you are going through on the inside. Aquarius. Spend your time socializing with people who get your wheels turning. It's time for you to express your ideas to the world, okay? So it's time for you, Aquarius, to start spending time with people who get that mind working, to get those ideas going so you can get those ideas flowing, because it's time for you to go talk your shit to the world. It's time for you to go be Oprah, Aquarius. Our head Aquarius is Oprah. That's our Queen Aquarius. Or Angela Davis, another Queen Aquarius, got out there on that podium and spoke her truth. You know, Oprah spoke her truth to people all over the world and whatnot. So it's time for you to find a platform to speak your truth on, Aquarius. I'm an Aquarius, and y'all see where I'm at up here talking astrology to y'all, and all on Facebook talking my shit too. So, you know, it's time for us to find a platform and express our thoughts. Or even a memoir. You don't have to be all caught up in this social media shit either, Aquarius. It's cool to do some things old school. Maybe it's time for you just to write a book, write a memoir, talk about the things that you've been through. I know I can, and I know eventually I will, but God ain't through with me yet. I'm still working on it, and I have so much more to add to the end chapters of my story. But, you know, if you feel like you're in a place where you can write a memoir, talk about the stuff that you've been through, whatever information that you hold on to, Aquarius, just know that it's going to help somebody else, so quit holding on to that shit. And last but not least, those lovely Pisces, new moon, bringing a clean financial slate. So don't be afraid to speak your mind at the job. Start manifesting all types of abundance in your life, Pisces. You got the power to manifest all type of abundance in your life, Pisces. So when it's saying speak your mind at the job, I ain't saying walk in there and cuss out all your coworkers. Maybe you are the owner of the company. I'm not saying go in there and fire all your employees and check everybody in the room. It's not saying that. It's just saying it's time for you to make some clear and definite lines about what it is you do and you don't want to do. So guess what, y'all? that concludes our Ratchet Astrology report for this week, for this new moon in Aries. I hope that it helps you guys be able to set some real clear intentions so we can start seeing shit manifesting in our lives right before our eyes, not just the small things the small little things that I'm grateful for throughout the day, that the universe constantly reminds me of how blessed I am, and the small gestures throughout the day that happen, that show me that my ancestors are right with me, cheering me on. Not just that stuff, but we are ready to we ready to manifest big things, big dreams. We ready to build up our communities, build up our families, build wealth, and have unlimited lifelong health, right? Okay, so that is what we are focused on, and I hope that you are able to go get your journals, write down what it is that you really want. So unless some other pressing planetary matter comes up and we need to discuss what's going on because it's getting a little too crazy out there, I will see you guys on the full moon. So thank you for watching this video. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys all in due time. Love you. Peace.